I'm Veronica Vance, and today on Discover the D, we're going to bring you a special episode dedicated solely to our region's love of cars. From the North American International Auto Show, to Auto Baron Homes, to Autopalooza, which boasts the greatest car summer cruises in the country. So stay tuned as we bring you a year's worth of auto events that happen right here in southeastern Michigan.
Production funding for this program was made possible by the Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau, driving tourism growth in Metro Detroit since 1896. More information is available at visitdetroit.com.
That's right.
Here in the D, we live and breathe cars, and it's only natural since we put the world on wheels. And it's also only natural that we host the most and the greatest car cruise events in the country with the amazing Autopalooza. So Sean, tell me all about Autopalooza. Love the name, by the way.
Thank you, thank you. Well, we do too. It's an exciting name, and it talks about the umbrella of all the summer events that Michigan has to commemorate our heritage. So there's something for everybody, the history buffs and the car buffs.
Our car show calendar starts in the early season, then we just go all the way through the summer.
A lot of car shows up and down Gratiot. You can get in and out and park where you want.
The whole event is a partnership between us, between the Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau and Pure Michigan, and it is this effort to get more visitors and residents alike to feel pride in the auto heritage that we have here in Southeast and Central Michigan. And we're designed to commemorate a story, and in our case, that's the story of the automobile in Southeast Michigan.
I really appreciate the stuff from the 1920s up until the 1930s, and it's kind of like, it's like being on a gigantic movie set.
You can get a jump on all the action starting in the winter with a few of our unofficial events. The Motor City is the destination where next generation products and technologies make their world debuts, and it all happens at the North American International Auto Show, which happens every January at Koba Center right here in downtown Detroit. So if you want to see the latest products, concept cars, and all things automotive, head to the North American International Auto Show. Now, each year at the end of February, Autorama comes to Kobo Center right here in Detroit. This is another amazing car show where hot rods are the heart of the event, but it also includes competition cars, specialty, and concept vehicles. And each year, the coveted Riddler Award is up for grabs, with the honor going to the vehicle that best illustrates creativity, engineering, and workmanship. Now, before we get into all the hot Autopalooza events, I've got to tell you that the D has some incredible Auto Baron homes that you can tour. For instance, the Etzel and Eleanor Ford House in St. Clair Shores gives you a look into the private lives of this Ford motor car family. Meadowbrook Hall in Rochester is another amazing property to visit. Home of Matilda Dodge Wilson, it is the 4th largest historic house museum in the United States. Now, these are only a few of the amazing Auto Baron homes you can tour, and they are all open year-round and are especially great to tour during the holiday season. Now it's time to get to the Autopalooza events. Now, the first official Autopalooza event starts in April with the Shell Eco Marathon of the Americas. This event happens right here in Kobo Center in downtown Detroit. This is an annual competition where participants build special vehicles to achieve the highest possible fuel efficiency. The global competitors include amateurs, university teams, and staff of motor manufacturers. Now, as we move closer to summer, things really heat up Memorial Day weekend with the Chevrolet Detroit Belle Isle Grand Prix.
Very exciting weekend, and it draws a huge crowd, and there's an educational piece for kids to learn hands-on.
Memorial Day weekend, right? Let's take a look. On Free Friday days, you get free access to the paddock garage area and to the pits. You get this close to the race cars. Music all weekend long, big acts, grand scale for the Grand Prix. And they've got this entire field packed with fun things to do. Big kids, little kids, everybody. It's a good time all around. So then after the Grand Prix, you've got another race car lovers event, correct?
Right, right. It's a NASCAR race out in the Irish Hills at Michigan International Speedway. So it's a race car lover's dream. And it attracts the top NASCAR racers from around the country. So it's a big, exciting event. Take the family out there. You can camp and watch all the exciting races.
Oh, that's a nice idea to go out there and camp, make a whole weekend of it.
Yes. It's a road trip.
Road trip, there you go. What's next?
Next is the East Point Gratiot Cruise, which is the lower part of Gratiot. It's a suburb of Detroit.
Let's take a look at that. Here I am in East Point at Cruise and Gratiot, and we're just in time for the kickoff parade. Woo!
Well, Cruise started in 1999. Today we have 2,000 cars on 155,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
And from 8 to 10 mile road.
8 to 10 mile road, so it's a 2-mile loop.
It is a loop, yeah.
It's
always the day before Father's Day.
the day before Father's Day.
Always. I call it a family event for a family town.
I love the flames on this. The paint job is just phenomenal.
This car was painted by Crazy Joe out in Algonac in his garage. This is a 1948 Chevy 5-passenger coupe.
So next in the Autopalooza lineup is Eyes on Design at the Edsel and Eleanor Ford House.
It started out with the designers from the big three auto companies wanting to put the focus on design. Added to all of that, it's a fundraiser for the Detroit Institute of Ophthalmology. So Eyes on Design has a double meaning.
Well, it sounds gorgeous, huh? Shall we go there too?
Okay.
Well, Eyes on Design is all about design, and check out the design on this. Look at the fins coming up out of this Plymouth Roadrunner here. And we've got the Daytona next to it. It's pretty unique, something you don't see at every car show.
Eyes on Design is held every year on Father's Day at the grounds of the Edsel and Eleanor Ford estate. And it's a beautiful 88-acre estate that's a gorgeous setting for just 300 of some of the most beautiful cars and great examples of great design. If you walk around the field here today, you'll see one class that's judged entirely by a group of folks that we call visionaries. They're visually impaired. They put on white cotton gloves. They judge a category just strictly by feel. And very often the winners that they pick are the same ones that our sighted judges choose.
Well, you know, it's like another zoo. It's filled with exotic things. And I'm not sure if we have more species than they do here, but the assortment of exotica here is just unbelievable.
So the whole gang got together and surprised you with a visit to Eyes on Design for Father's Day?
They did.
And so what do you think about it? Have you been here before?
Nope, this is our first time here. We go to a lot of car shows, but I haven't been out here, so we like it. They know that Dad likes the cars. So.
Dad likes the cars, and what a great, beautiful day, and what a surprise. Were you excited and surprised?
Yeah, they didn't tell me till late last night we were coming out, and I didn't know about the event, so.
Oh, you didn't know about the event?
I had no
It's a beautiful, beautiful place
Right.
to have a car show like this, don't you think?
We love it.
You see vehicles you just don't see anywhere else.
This is the third time I've been here. Once as a volunteer, I was here another time as attendee, and this time as a participant.
And a blue ribbon winner.
A blue ribbon winner.
So anytime I see a two-tone car, I'm really drawn to it. But this 55 Ford Crown Victoria in particular, because it matches my outfit. And after all, Eyes on Design is all about the beauty of the car. And what a great gift to bring Dad here for Father's Day, because I'm sure he'll find his favorite too. So up next, we're off to the Henry Ford.
Yes, for the first of two Autopalooza events at the Henry Ford in the summer. And this is an exciting event, Motor Muster. This is where everybody gathers and they look at these vehicles from about the mid-30s to the mid-70s, the Americana, and it's a great deal of fun.
Let's head off, cruise on over to the Henry Ford, Greenfield Village, right?
Yes.
Love this car hop service. Some of the car owners have went to great lengths to really recreate the times. Look, they've got race cars too. So Jim, Greenfield Village Motor Muster, tell me about the event.
Well, this is actually the sister show to the Oak Car Festival, which we've been doing here for over 60 years. And this show features cars from 1933 to 1976. And it's really fun because we can show the transition of the automobile from sort of the horse and buggy looking thing up to the essentially the modern cars that we know today. And it's fun that we include the 70s because cars like Gremlins and Pacers and Pintos, which people have saved and preserved, are all here today.
So where does Autopalooza take us next?
Flint.
Flint!
We have to go to Flint, and there's some wonderful car shows up there. So this first one in Flint is at the Sloan Longway Museum, and it's part of the Flint Cultural Center. They've got some great stuff. It's a weekend event. The kids, the family, exhibits, lectures, 600 automobiles. There's a planetarium, whole large cultural complex.
And that's
open.
all open during this car show. It's all kind of what they want to show off, correct?
Yes, exactly. So let's not forget the Buick Gallery. They've got a great Buick Gallery there.
Sounds like a lot of fun. It's not that far.
It's not far at all. Just jump on the freeway and you're in Flint.
So now we head back to Metro Detroit and we head downriver for the next one.
Yeah, we do a great show cruising downriver, basically Lincoln Park to Riverview. Great muscle cars, a lot of fun. It's a great show. Just if you love your metal and you love the rumble of the engine, that's where you go.
And it's an all-day event, and it's a big car cruise, right?
It's a great car cruise in a totally different part of town than the Dream Cruise, so it's local. You know, the locals come out for that.
July kicks off with the All-American Cruise in Westland. This event features classic cars that take over Wayne Road, the main drag of Westland, that parade up and down between Joy and Glenwood. Now, at the end of July in Lansing, you can take in the Car Capital Celebration. This event celebrates Lansing's automotive history, featuring classic cars, collectible vehicles, and motorcycles all cruising the streets around the state capitol.
Has $20,000 going for the first time, second, third, and last time at $20,000. Sold your Stanley One-Less, thank you.
So kind of taking a different twist, there's another type of event, the auction, correct?
Yes, the auction at R.M. Sotheby's Motor City Auction is part of the Concours d'Elegance. And it's at a very beautiful venue. It's the Inn at St. John's in Plymouth. It's prestigious. It is only significant vehicles that are offered there.
Offered for a pretty penny.
Pretty penny.
Pretty penny.
The day before Concours d'Elegance.
So some smart fella held on to this 1935 Duesenberg. It's a Model SJ and it's estimated to be worth around $1 million. So this is another one that's expected to go for a really high price. This is a 1952 Mercedes-Benz 300, and they're estimating it to be worth over $250,000. It's a beauty.
We feature 80 cars usually every year, very focused on American pre-war and post-war classics. There's people coming from all over North America, East Coast, West Coast. Previews open the day before the auction. We do condition reports, full inspections, test drives for clients, really all the due diligence that's necessary to make them comfortable with what they're bidding on.
And that leads into the Concours d'Elegance, which is right in the name, elegance. Those are the luxury cars, right?
Beautiful. That's your chance as a visitor to see some of the old-time, historic, grand automobiles. What you get there are rolling sculptures of automobiles, just the epitome of the classics. Very, very beautiful.
Well, shall we go take a look? It's reminiscent of when the rich and famous of European societies would get together to socialize and literally have a competition of elegance.
We have people from California, Nova Scotia, Texas, all over the country. People have come to this event. It's one of the premier car events in the world, really. And we have a little bit different type of representation of cars. And here we show everything. We go from the earliest cars. We have a brass and gas class, which is from the turn of the century up until like 1914, and then we go as far as into the 70s with sports cars, muscle cars, and the various American and foreign cars. So we cover the entire gamut of the car collecting hobby.
There are plenty of things to see and do in Metro Detroit this month, and our calendar of events is up next to point you in the right direction. Expect unbelievable moves and tons of flying dirt at Supercross. Then Michigan's own Legoland finally opens. Hop on over to the family fun Bunnyville at the Detroit Zoo, then escape to the City Theater for some hunky a cappella. The American Ballet Theater tells the tale of Sleeping Beauty. Then find everything and anything for your home and garden. To learn of any changes, log on to visitdetroit.com or call 1-800-DETROIT. Okay, so where do we head off to next?
We're back to Gratiot.
A second cruise on Gratiot.
Yes, and Gratiot's got its memories. M3 has a car memory for just about everybody. So we're at the Clinton Township Gratiot Cruise. And this one's unique because it has a special feature for kids at the very beginning of it. They do their pedal cars and they do a race. So they close off Gratiot and they line those kids up and they go for about 100 yards.
So much fun.
It's adorable.
Well, so we take off and cruise down Gratiot?
Yes, the Clinton Township Gratiot Cruise.
We're getting ready for the parade!
Getting ready, here we go.
We wanted to have a family-oriented cruise, so one of the things we did is to make sure that the little kids were included too. We think we're the only cruise in the country that has the pedal cars to start the cruise up.
They've got this big kiddie area set up. We've got blow-ups. There's a car you can paint graffiti on, crafts, a music station. Lots of fun.
We are the Clinton Township Gratiot Cruise. We hold our cruise the first Sunday of every August.
Okay.
One of the differences with our cruise is that we are a very family-oriented cruise. We actually have kids zones. We have car shows all along the strip. We run from Wellington Crescent down to 14 Mile Road, which is actually one of the longest cruises.
So the Clinton Township Gratiot Cruise has a lot of places like this. They've got parties and car shows outside of the actual cruise going on. There's live music here at the Alibi Inn. People are having fun dancing. Cars are coming in and out. It's really exciting. Okay, so you've got another event that takes us north, right?
Yes.
What's next?
We go back to the Bricks in Flint.
In Flint. Okay, no, back to the Bricks. What does that mean?
So the main drag, Saginaw Street, is the original bricks that were built when the city was first founded. And this is actually a week-long event.
Oh, it's a week-long event. So this is what, a car show and a cruise together, or what are we looking at here?
Right, so everybody tunes up and they do it in smaller cities around Flint, and then they all gather in Flint. And they have a number of events, a festival.
Oh, that sounds like a good event, a fun event.
Yeah.
So now we head back down to Metro Detroit for, well, a little bit outside of Metro Detroit. What's the next event?
The Pure Michigan 400, again out at the Michigan International Speedway, and there's a sprint cup that happens there.
Up next is one of the biggest car events in, what, the country?
It is, in the country.
It is, okay. What is it?
So it's the Woodward Dream Cruise.
Oh, of course.
And it attracts over 1 million people every summer.
Did we get that many people that come here?
For one day. One day. So that's an exciting event all along Woodward Avenue, from Pontiac all the way down to Ferndale. And it's exciting because this is the location of the very first mile of concrete was there along Woodward Avenue. So that's what's significant about having a dream cruise in Woodward, one of the historically significant things.
This is just one small section of this huge event. As far as the eye can see, there's just show car after show car. So all kinds of cars are stars at the Woodward Dream Cruise. We've got some real job dragsters here. They try to get to their fastest speed in 1/4 mile. Right now we're at 13 Mile in Woodward, and as you can see, there's just a ton of activity all around.
It's free, 100% free.
Hey, how about taking
What
a
free
free
t-shirts,
thrill
right?
ride right here at the Dream
Get a free
Cruise?
t-shirt. He's on the gas, wide open right there. There's smoke in the tires and they launch off the pad.
You hit all the car shows. You kind of epitomize what I think cruising is all about. Tell me, what do you think about the Woodward Dream Cruise?
Oh, it's wonderful as ever. I love the people, I love the cars, I love the excitement. It's beautiful weather.
You match this beautiful purple Cuda. So people come from across the country to see the biggest car show in the U.S. right here in the D. It's the Woodward Dream Cruise. So mark your calendars every year for the 3rd weekend in August to see some of the finest rides you'll ever catch. So what do we have that follows up the Woodward Dream Cruise?
Cruise in Hines is next, and the cruise goes for 7.5 miles of it. So it's very pretty, it's very relaxed. Only classic vehicles are allowed in the show.
So you're not going to see any of today's cars there.
No.
It's just going to be what? Classic cars, muscle cars?
50 years old and that sort of thing, yes.
And all in a beautiful setting. That sounds like a lot of fun. Shall we go check out Heinz Drive, Cruisin' Heinz? So it takes an awful lot to put on a car cruise of this magnitude. And prior to the event, I got a chance to talk to the man behind Cruisin' Heinz, Don Nicholson.
We just allow classic cars and hot rods. It's the only cruise like it really in the state, a visual car show that keeps on moving by you.
So you're not going to get a lot of regular nowadays cars?
No minivans, no beat up old pickup trucks, unless they're 25 years or older.
7.5 miles.
And it's just beautiful with no stoplights, no stop signs. Spectators can get in at multiple areas and park and walk in and enjoy the show.
So it's a one-day event, and about how many vehicles are out here on Heinz
We've got
Drive?
tens of thousands of cars out here. It's just phenomenal.
So every year, is it the same time every year?
Yes, we're always the fourth Sunday in August.
All right, thanks, Don. So then after Cruising Heinz, we head back to Greenfield Village?
Yes, for the Old Car Festival. And that really celebrates the historical beginnings of the automobiles. So these are cars 1890 to 1930, and it's really very atmospheric.
Okay, well, I think we should go check out the Old Car Festival. The streets are transformed and filled with authentic antique cars from the 1890s all the way to the 1930s. It's like I'm transported back into time here. What's nice about this car show too is that they have a parade of cars that come through, and they have a historian that tells you all about the vehicles they stop. Just knows a wealth of everything. It's so informative. Not only do you get to see hundreds of antique cars, but you get to walk around Greenfield Village that's just like you're back in time. They've got traffic cops out there, costume presenters everywhere. The streets are alive with all the old cars driving everywhere, and it feels just like you've been put back into the early 1900s. And of course, with the Old Car Festival taking place at the world's greatest history attraction, that means that you also get access to all of Greenfield Village's historic buildings and homes. The Model T rides at Greenfield Village are open for the Old Car Festival. Rounding out Autopalooza is where we are today, right?
Yes, yes. This is the Orphan Car Show, and we're here in Ypsilanti. This is put on by the Ypsilanti Heritage Museum, Auto Heritage Museum. So these are truly orphan cars or brands that were short-lived.
And that's what I really like, Sean, about all of the Autopalooza events. They're all unique in their own way.
And they're all about the heritage that's very, very particular to us here in Southeast Michigan, and that's what the Motor Cities National Heritage Area is all about.
Well, you're doing a great job,
Oh,
Sean.
thank you.
I'm here. I'm going to go check out these orphan cars, all right?
Okay, Veronica.
Thank you.
Let's have fun.
This beautiful 1956 Studebaker, one of today's winners here at the Orphan Car Show.
You know, there isn't a show about the Hudsons and the other cars that are no longer manufactured. So people associated with the museum said, hey, let's start a show and let's call it the Orphan Car Show because they've been orphaned by their companies.
Okay,
Yep.
I like that. And it's turned into this. You've got a lot of cars here.
Yep, 200 today. Yep.
200, that's a lot. So not only are these all beautiful cars, but it's also like you're learning a history lesson and you don't even know it. All these cars have been discontinued, abandoned, they're not still part of the automakers, but they all have this great place in history. Look at the grill, it's just beautiful. You can go up and talk to the owners, find out what kind of car it was, and you're learning while you're admiring. So these cars here, they're called the Kaiser cars, and these were made locally, not far from here, out at the Willow Run plant, and they look so stylish.
What you see here is a 49 Fraser. This is the first generation of Fraser.
Okay.
And what you see over here is the second generation or the last Fraser.
Hey, check this out, a 1981 electric car. This is all brass, and they used to light it there, or?
Right, it had a tank in the back which delivered the gas up to the front.
Okay.
Called a Prestolite tank, and then you had to light it.
You had to light it
Yeah.
for your headlights.
You're right, and the side lamps were kerosene.
Kerosene, okay.
Yeah.
Now, is it still working?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it runs good.
It's one show that we just try not to miss, try to get to every year.
So remember, every year you want to pull out your calendars and start marking the weekends for all the great Autopalooza events that happen all summer long here in the D. Well, that's our show. Hope you enjoyed our special episode. Thanks for watching. And remember, if you would like more information on any of the events, log on to visitdetroit.com. So until I see you next time, go and explore on your own and discover the D.
To learn about discounts and special offers for featured attractions, plus how to get copies of Visit Detroit magazine, click on visitdetroit.com.
Production funding for this program was made possible by the Detroit Metro Convention and Visitors Bureau, driving tourism growth in Metro Detroit since 1896. More information is available at visitdetroit.com.